Well, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, May the 11th. I'm in Damascus, Virginia, and I made the turn walking down towards Sundog Outfitters. Here's Crazy Larry's hostel right there. 3 nights here, no more room in the inn. Trail days. If I don't leave, I'm going to be here a long time, and that's probably not good. So I'm headed out, and here's a guy wearing a dress, not a kilt, but a dress. Anyway, so heading down towards Sundogs, and see, dress, not a kilt. Okay, I thought about wearing a kilt, but I actually looked at one in Mount Rogers Outfitters. Not quite ready for that yet. Who knows? Maybe. I think my kids might have a hard time. Their dad wearing a kilt. Anyway, I don't think I'll be wearing a dress on the trail though. Bands of rain, thunderstorms, hazardous weather conditions, damaging winds, large hail, all forecasts for today. So we'll see what happens. Didn't get out as quickly as I wanted. It's probably about 9:30 now. I wanted to be on the road by 8:30, but it was raining pretty good, and I'm running between some bands, and so they'll be coming at me here again in a bit. But hey, it's all part of the journey, right? To spend some time getting wet. So all right. Might drop in here into Subway or to Mojo's here for a minute, assess the weather. So we'll see you later. Bye. All right, well, it's 10 o'clock. I'm leaving town. Just band after band after band on the radar. So not much I can do about it without just sitting around all day. And tomorrow's much of the same. Some of it's that bad weather that was out west that's breaking apart and just throwing thunderstorms all over the place. So anyway, we'll just keep going. Leaving town now. I think the trail will cross this road and go up to the left. I believe if I read a map right in one of the restaurants, kind of had an overview of the town, gave a little more detail what the trail does after it makes this turn than what the AWOL guide does. But it looks like it goes up to the left, so we'll be watching for that. A lot of bikes, big mountain biking community here too. So a lot of bike rentals, a lot of bikers in. There at the hostel last night, we had 3 bikers that they started in Yorktown, Virginia, and they're going all the way to Oregon, 4,500 mile bike trip. So it looks pretty cool. So anyway, there's a bakery and an eatery, an ice cream shop. Didn't know that was there. I may have come down yesterday, but don't want ice cream today. No honey buns on this leg. I tried the honey buns on the last 5 days, and that made me sick. It's too much sugar to try and hike on in the morning. I need a little more complex carbs instead of just raw carbs like that, raw sugars. Didn't do real well with me, so no honey buns this time, so we'll see how I do. All right, time to hike on. See you later. Bye. Well, so far the climb out of Damascus has either been Rudy, or rocky. So I guess if they're both, it's rookie. Anyway, a few steep grades. A lot of people, I don't know if it's a lot of people, some people, I saw a couple this morning, taking the Creeper Trail where it comes and joins back at the 18 about 4.5 miles instead of doing that section. Hey, it's okay, it's our hike. But I chose to do the trail. So far, I've only gotten sprinkles. No big bands of thunder and lightning yet. Knock on wood. So we'll keep hiking up towards higher terrain and see what the day brings. All right, see you later. Bye. Well, I'm on my first AT diversion detour. Apparently there's a bridge washed out somewhere. So at the intersection of the Beech Grove Trail, I had to take it down, cross 58, and into this Creeper Trail parking lot. It's got some bare garbage cans and a bathroom, so I took advantage of both. And while it's not raining, I'm going to sit on this nice bench and have my lunch, since it's about 1 o'clock, and then I'll start down this detour and see where it leads and what the impact is. I have no idea. The AT where it detoured me was starting to head up terrain, and the Beech Grove Trail headed down terrain, so who knows what that's going to mean in the end. So, and my timing of getting where. So I'll keep you updated, but for now I'm going to have some lunch. Bye. Okay, so I think it is that bridge there, and the AT is washed out. So they had us come down a trail down this ravine right here, and I'm in this parking lot, and we're gonna go down the Creeper Trail, which it looks like it was gonna kind of do anyway, and then at some point in time I guess we get back on the AT so I can then begin this great climb up to the shelter. So the impact, I guess I just missed going over this ridge line right here. Remember, I was getting ready to go up I thought. So anyway, that's the impact of it, so it shouldn't be too bad. All right, let's get on hiking. Hope you can hear me over the power of that water down there. Man, there's a lot of it too. I'm sure it's enhanced by the rain. So on that map where the trail looked like it was on the Creeper Trail, it's not really. I had to climb up this ridge line, and now I'm coming back down. So it's not quite as easy as walking the Creeper Trail, although it looks like it's probably going to come back down here and join it again. But you know, I want to do this my way, which is to try and stay on the AT. So that's what I'll do. Follow the blazes. The white blazes. A little slippery, a little muddy. A lot of campsites, by the way, after leaving Damascus. You don't have to go very far. There's a lot of places to stop and camp. There's another one right there, another trestle there. So they're all over. And many of them are not indicated on the AWOL guide. They're obviously stealth camping sites, but obviously they've been used enough that they're kind of well established. Sun's trying to poke its head out. I've had the sprinkles, but I haven't had that really bad downpour that I was worried about with lightning and thunder, knock on wood. So I'll just keep trudging along. There's the Creeper Trail down there. Trying to use smaller steps, more steps, and I can't tell if it's because my muscles are not used to that or my pack is heavy because of resupply, but it's sure making my thighs burn today. Well, I am soaked. The weather, and that's pretty much for me, sweating, sprinkled a little bit on the way up here. The 2 mile ascent was some pretty brutal switchbacks that never went in. The shelter, Sunder Shelter, is a 1/4 mile down this trail. It was my backup plan. My original plan was to go another 1.5 miles to a pond campsite. That's still open, but I am also now open to the possibility of another 6.5 to the Lost Mountain Shelter. Since the weather is holding out, and my knees aching a little bit from all the rocks that I've been twisting around and slipping on. Although it was another route that this one ran with the path that was slippery. It caused me to slide and twist it a little bit, but you know, nothing that I'm at this point in time not used to, unfortunately. I'm gonna pop a Tylenol, get some more water in me, and I'm gonna start hiking. If I get to the pond and decide to quit, then I hit my goal. If I feel good, there's a bunch of ups and downs. I think I can probably get to the Lost Mountain Shelter by 6:30. That gives me an hour to figure out what I want to do with either sitting in the shelter or tenting or cooking or whatever I want to do. So I think I can do it. I want to do it. I believe I can do it. So let's go do it. All right. We'll report back. Well, it's 5:30 and I still haven't got to the pond yet. So obviously I need to relook at my mileage math because it's not 1.5 miles. There's no way. So today, Nobos, northbounders, had one pass me while I was getting some water. Haven't seen anybody else northbound. Southbound, on the other hand, there's been a lot of people that have been heading southbound. One that started in Harper's Ferry, and is, of course, working to get to trail days. And all the rest are sectional hikers out for, doing their section, working to get to trail days. So I suspect over the next couple of days, I'll have more of those that I'll encounter. Ran into Little Hippo. She was at the hostel with me last night. She stayed in one of the bunks. She's a southbounder, but I thought she was going south from Damascus and then hitching back in. But apparently she went and met up with a friend and is hiking south back into Damascus. So anyway, this is kind of steep. It's been kind of rough on my knees. Caught my leg quivering, my right leg quivering a little bit, and trying to hyperextend backwards a couple of times on some down steps. So may not make the Lost Mountain Shelter. May just get down to this campsite, and there are old pilots and there are bold pilots, but there are no old bold pilots. And since I'm an old pilot and I've been around the block a couple of times or two, there's something called get home-itis, where you press the weather, you press the limits, you press the fuel to be able to get where you're going, and you have an accident. So with that life lesson in mind, when I get down here, I'm going to look at the time, listen to my body, and put the ego away and make a decision if I still keep trying to go on or not. All right. There's a lot of bees right here. Now that I'm quiet, I can hear them just buzzing everywhere. Must be going after these azaleas that are starting to bloom. The nectar's probably pretty fresh in them. All right, everybody. We'll see you in a minute. Bye. Okay, it's 10 to 6. I don't want to drink this water. I got half a liter. The streams that have been on the AWOL guide have been dried up, even though it's been raining. So now I'm left with the decision. Do I stay here with minimal water? Do I dare to drink the water? Do I try and go another 4 miles to the shelter, or there's some more water sources? Do I just go and hope to find another place to camp that's not marked? Sometimes that happens. Wow, decisions. Right now I think I hike around the pond over to the other campsite and then down. Oh man, I'll let you know what I decide to do. Well, as you can see, I'm on the move. Went back and looked at my water again, and I drank the ½ liter that I had left. What was in the other bottle was about 1/8 of a liter. It was about 4 guzzles, and so I took it, and not going to drink that nasty pond water. So there's 4 streams in the AWOL guide as I hike down towards the intersection of the AT and the Creeper Trail. And on the other end, when I left the Creeper Trail, there were campsites all over the place. And there is a flat area before I get down there. So, first good stream I come to, gonna tank up my water, go 3 liters, and carry it till I get to wherever I'm gonna camp, which most likely will be short of the shelter. So, that's an update on what I'm going to try and do as I have deviated from my plan. And so now we'll see. I'll see what happens. You know, it is what it is, right? Now see, now here's some water flowing. Okay? Look how clean that looks. See that? That's really tempting to get water right there and go back and camp. But man, look what it's coming out of. That's nasty. But it's undisturbed, and so the water's just flowing on the top. Well, now I got another decision to make. I mean, that's as good as some water that I've gotten. I guess I could fill up a bag and see what it looks like. No, it'll be okay. I'm gonna head downstream. It'll be okay. I'll find water. I'll find a campsite. It'll be okay. All right, big bird flying north for the summer. Okay, so the first water source I came to was around the bend. It was kind of a trickle, and I thought I heard something, so I came down, and I got a lot better flow. And I actually got to build that little spout right there. Most of the time you get here and somebody else has already beat you to it, but I got to do that one. Second time in 70 days. All right, so I passed them up. I know I said I'd go ahead and tank up on the first one I came to, but I started hearing road noise, and I thought for sure that, okay, well, that's the Creeper Trail down at the bottom here, so there'll be campsites and water down there. But what I was actually hearing was Highway 58 up on my left, which is actually above me. Apparently I'm down below the road, so I'll have a little bit of road noise tonight. So I passed up the water source. And let me explain about the pond. I don't like, a pond will clog up your filter in a heartbeat if you're not careful. You really need to get kind of below the surface of the water to get your water, not the water that's coming off skimming off the top. But if I hadn't had any water for hours and hours and I was in bad shape, I'd still attempt to go ahead and filter it, and then knowing that you're gonna have to do some serious back flushing. And I've got this little, like a Visine eyedropper that I put bleach in, and I've been carrying it with me this whole time. I never used it. I put a couple of drops in a liter, and that'll take care of the viruses. So, yes, I would be willing to drink that water if I needed it. But I had confidence, since the AWOL guide had so many stream crossings before the Creeper Trail, that I would be able to get some water. So obviously I had to walk back to get the water, which means I found a camping site. And honestly, it's not been that bad of a walk back. I've had to walk worse in the last 2 weeks just to get water as part of the normal chain of events. But as I was kind of walking down the trail here, contemplating getting down, you know, where a lot of times you have the stealth campsites, I had a very distinct feeling to not go any further. And I looked around and I found a little knoll, and somebody had actually at one time camped there. It's not been used very often. It's not I guess one of the regular places for people to come and stealth camp at. So anyway, I hope I didn't walk by it while I was talking. I might have gone too far. Not supposed to be going downhill like that. Hey, I'll be back with you. Okay, I'm back. The trail's right over here. All I needed to go is about another 50 yards from when I stopped the last video, and I would have seen this little knoll over here. But about the time I was right down there is when I heard this little voice that just said, no, don't go down to the road. And I looked over here and saw this knoll and came up and found a spot to be able to put my tent. And yeah, then I had to walk back for the water. But it was the least difficult trek for water that I've had, other than Double Springs, in the last 2 weeks. so it worked out okay. So anyway, I got a nice little spot here. And as far as, oh boy, today's adventure, it was an 8.3-ish to Saunders Shelter. To the pond, it was a 10.8. And I think, boy, let's see. I'm going to call us that that was a stream. I'm calling it 480, 41 and a half. So, let's call it 11 and a half miles today, which is not a bad day starting out at 10 o'clock. You know, from really a Nero and 2 zeros. And the Nero was almost a 0 because it was only 2.5 miles in, so. All right. Gonna have a sunset over there. Don't think I'm gonna do a fire. The bugs don't seem to be bothering me. Everything's wet anyway. By the time I get dinner, I think I'll be ready to go to bed. The only thing is, right up there is a road. And I have a feeling I'm gonna have some car sounds throughout the night. So, oh well. All right, from beautiful Virginia, northbound to Atkins. Good night, everybody. Well, this is my first fire. Usually we worry about it, or other people are doing it, and I wasn't going to worry about it tonight, but I thought, well, why not? Maybe a little bit of the heat will translate over to my clothesline there and help dry out some of my clothes. This is also the second time in about 70 days or so, or 30, yeah, maybe 3 times, where I haven't had cell service to be able to send at least a message to the family saying that, hey, I'm here. So what am I eating? Right now I use this Cozy with Reflectix in a pot to cut down how much fuel I use. It's something I started to do with because of the alcohol stove, and I continue to use it with my pocket rocket here. So what I did is tonight I had got a package of these dried tortellini, took half of it and put it in 2 cups of water with one of these chicken Knorr bouillons. I like these a lot. They're good quality. They're soft, and so I put that in with 2 cups of water, threw the tortellini in there, took a squirt of olive oil, okay, to add some protein into it. I mean some fat. Here's my protein and fat for tonight. I'll eat that here in a minute. Normally I'll be eating it while this is cooking, so I bring the concoction to a boil, throw it in the cozy, put the Reflectix on top, wait 15-20 minutes. Believe it or not, it stays almost at boiling temperature in that cozy and will continue to cook without me having to actually expend all that fuel. Now with a little bit of the water, since it is a soup, may not give me enough substance. I've got a little bit of just mashed potatoes here. Idahoan mashed potatoes. I'll just sprinkle them in just to kind of thicken the water up a little bit. And then I've got some chamomile tea there for tonight. The peaches and cream is for breakfast in the morning. So anyway, here I am by myself, enjoying my camp. My campfire is going to die if I don't get some more wood on it. So, all right, maybe this is goodbye for the night. See you later.